Welcome back to another enriching and educational stream. We're going to talk about music production drama today. No, it's not about BusyWorks Beats. So you can stop watching now, BusyWorks Beats. You could close out all the windows, all right? So we're going to be talking about the Ben Jordan drama today. This is an interesting one. It's a very interesting one because I don't know what the f is going on. Now, before we get started here, Ben Jordan did get death threats and other wild comments, and I am not defending those comments. In fact, I think you should not harass people in general because of YouTube videos. That's just insane. This may end up being a controversial video, but I'm going to do my best to provide a nuanced summary and take on this. We'll be talking about the Polyend Play Plus. Yeah, it's a mouthful. The original Polyend came out 18 months ago, roughly. It said it cost roughly $900 converted from Polish currency from what I could see in the Wayback Machine. People seemed rather pleased with it at the time. It is a sample-based groove box that resembles an APC or Monome. It includes 3,000 samples and has some interesting features and a nice design. They released the Play Plus recently and it has had an extremely controversial reception. It seems like the only people who are actually happy about it are the influencers who got it for free. Okay, don't kill me here, guys, okay? That's just the facts, okay? That's just the facts here. Essentially, the Play Plus is an updated version of the Play that you can buy standalone or as an upgrade for the Play. You have to ship your Play to them and let them swap out the components. This upgrade puts 4 synth engines in it as well as other somewhat interesting upgrades. It costs $3.99 to ship it to them and upgrade. The reason people are upset about this is because the Play Plus costs the same amount roughly as the nerfed version, the Play, that came out a year and a half ago. So if you want to upgrade it, that costs $400. So you're basically paying more than what people are paying now for the better version of it. Basically, the people who paid for the original Play feel cheated or betrayed, and that this is some sort of planned obsolescence. They said they couldn't get the chips during COVID when it was happening, so they had to downgrade it to a smaller version when they first put it out, and then now they've got the chips and they want to upgrade it to a better version. Definitely not planned obsolescence. This could have been 1,500 people would still love it. People are just mad because they felt like they're being strung along here. Chip shortages were real and affected a whole lot of industries. Well, I'm not saying that's not real. It makes sense, but we'll give them that one. We'll give them that one. We're not gonna like trip over that too much. What is with this website? Wait, hold on. Is it supposed to look like this? Like, it's like covering up the image here and then it scrolls over. Like, why is it like that? What a weird design. Okay, it gets a plus version with synths, stereo samples, and more. Has 16 tracks. Old because Play Plus retains the original Play design and powerful. New powerful processors powers the Play Plus, which makes more features possible. New stereo sample playback engine. Okay. Expanded the factory library to over 5,000 professional samples. Doesn't sound too bad. A highlight of the new Play Plus are the 4 distinct synth engines, giving the Play Plus 8 synth voices in total. And I mean, it sounds like they're adding kind of a lot, right? I mean, it's not bad for $400. Fourth and the last engine is the WTFM. What the f, man? The last engine is the what the f, man? Analog warmth. Dude, I like how like analog warmth became a meme and then it's just like now everyone's unironically saying it a lot. Either that I'm starting to notice it more. Okay, multi-track USB audio. Each track can be sent to your DAW separately. Detail, you can send up to 14 tracks via USB. That's pretty cool, right? So you can send them separately. That's pretty dope. The difference is the Plus has analog warmth. But what is the complaining for then, man? I don't get it. Updated sequencer. New piano roll editor. Wow, it's just like Ableton, dude. It's just like Ableton. New piano roll editor. Okay. Processor replacement is required here. Imagine if it didn't require that and it's just a firmware upgrade. Then people should be absolutely seething about it. I'll just not buy it. I'll still make shitty music either way. Same, dude. Same. They should have made a modular upgrade. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it might be kind of hard to swap out the processor properly. They don't want people to be responsible for it. But the price of the original Polyend Play drops to $4.99. It used to be $7.99. Okay, now I'm understanding why people are kind of pissed about this here. Let's just find it to double check here. Now it makes sense why people are pissed about this. Would you ever make a synth or sequencer weaver? No. There's no reason to make shit that already exists, in my opinion. Okay, yeah, so $900. $900. Would you ever be a professional wrestler weaver? You know what? Now that you mention it, would you ever sell cookies weaver? These are some great questions, guys. Keep them coming. Or you know what? It'd be Cascadilla. Cascadilla would be the flavor. Okay, so yeah, it was like $900 before. So that is kind of shitty, man. It should be a free upgrade at that price point. I can see why people are pissed about this now. Would you ever smoke crack with Av? Come on, dude. I said I would. The offer still... Wait, hold on. The offer still stands, Av. I know you want to smoke crack with me at NAMM. All right? We can smoke crack and then get a Cascadilla together. That'd be great. Give the fans what they want, man. Okay, so I can definitely see why people are pissed about this. The original Polyend costing $900, then them randomly dropping it to $400. So like, imagine buying this a year ago for the full price, and then you find out 1 year later that they have an upgraded version, and they lower the price of the one that you just paid $900 for, $500, and then there's an upgrade path for it for $499, and you could buy the Polyend plate now for less money than you paid for the original. Ooh, dude, I would be salty. I understand the salt now. I understand the salt. Okay, so we understand the salt here. We're in the salt mines. We see what is going on here. Now, let's take a look at Ben Jordan's video. Let's see if we can figure out why people are pissed at this or what the deal is here. Like, I don't understand why he would be supportive of this other than the fact that maybe he didn't know how much it would cost, you know? Because it doesn't really make sense to be into this. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna pay more. I'm gonna pay more just because I bought this thing a year earlier, something I didn't really need, I probably could have done with other shit.
This is a story about gear. About money, about
salt. It'd be an interesting response to this. He said he got a lot of backlash for it, and there's a lot of hate comments and stuff like that, which I'm not really getting because, I mean, this like ratio, that's good. It's not like half his audience turned on him or anything. He's getting one guide. Yeah, it's kind of what I think is going on here, which is weird because he's made videos about Behringer before. He's gone in on Behringer. Because I saw like 3 things on Twitter. It's not much. I don't know if anyone else here has made a video about Behringer before, but you get harassed for months on end if you just mention them in the title. And like, there's no way he wasn't getting crazier shit before this.
And there's a really good reason why a lot, if not the majority of companies don't make things like this. It's because there's a high amount of risk. It could go really well, or it could go really...
Did the OP1 go really well? I would say it went okay. I mean, maybe it went well in terms of sales, but in terms of the product itself, it's okay. Okay, so we got the idea about this here. I'm curious what he says about the price. Like, rationalize the price for me here.
Buy it. They instead treat it like a version upgrade. It's $799, the same price as the original play, and if you already own a play, you could just send it in, pay $399, and get the new, way more powerful one. These, like all Polyend products, are assembled by hand in Poland. So when you send this in, they can just take a case if it's in great condition, run some quality control on the screen, put a brand new board inside, and sell it as a refurbished unit down the line. This allows the original play to be sold for $499 now, pricing it alongside entry-level hardware. And in my opinion, even if you have no interest in a groove box, just the MIDI
I feel like he's kind of skipping over the issue with that, though, right?
mode alone would make this like the best value MIDI sequencer in history, maybe. Anyway, in this process, existing customers who own the play...
I feel like he's like kind of ignoring the problem with them changing the price. I feel like if they didn't change the price, people probably wouldn't care that much.
Are rewarded with a $400 upgrade on an entire new unit, and this much e-trash becomes at the
yeah, he's looking at the positive and just forgetting about the current owners. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Very most, like this much. Like, think about how many products you've owned from the exact same company that look almost identical, if not completely identical, to the previous version. I'm looking at you, Apple. And like, some of these cases are almost indestructible. I would have to go far out of my way to damage it.
Prove it. I want to see it. How much should Polyend pay Ben Jordan? I heard he said nothing, but... you know, technically, if they send you something, you're supposed to disclose it because that is you getting a form of payment. Essentially, getting a product as a form of payment. So basically, anyone who gets sent something, you know, does a review on it and doesn't mention it, they are technically breaking the law. Not that I care. I don't give a shit, but they technically are.
My rant. I just thought that that was a really clever and customer-friendly way of approaching an upgrade, so much so that I think it's just as important as the product itself. And I really like the product. And by like it, I mean that I have traveled around the country with it as my sole music-making device and been completely content.
I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't been paid to use it because he must actually like it. You know, that's one thing about this. I think if he is telling the truth about that, he must actually really like these products because he's done a lot of work for them. His videos get much more attention than the own company does. What are you, a cop? Hey. I said I don't fucking care, all right? I know how this works because I don't want to break the motherfucking law. Yes, I'm a cop. Impersonating a cop is a crime, Weaver. Holy shit. Wait a minute. My whole plug-in police thing is I'm a criminal. Oh my God, I'm a liar. I'm a criminal. So it's just like a typical review, I feel like. It's nothing real special. Maybe a little bit of bias for sure.
Friction.
This is also like, has a similar like ratio. It's not too bad. You better be criticizing, dude. Come on, Loopop, man. I consider you pretty unbiased. I'm waiting for it. Dude, there's got to be a section where he mentions the problem with the price. Pay for early access? Are you really paying for early access? I mean, you are technically, but you're paying for a shittier version for more money. Usually when you get early access, you're not paying more. Is it the same though? I guess it might be a little bit different since you're buying hardware, but I don't know. No one's mentioning it, dude. That's fucking weird, man. That is fucking weird. I can see why people are upset at these people. Unless they didn't know about this beforehand, then that's kind of negligent to not tell people about this or even bring it up or criticize in any way. And it is their duty as reviewers to mention this. I'm not saying that they took money to not mention it, but people in the audience might perceive it that way or think that they are not on the consumer side because they are not mentioning that. So basically, Ben Jordan got a bunch of backlash for this. This is what he said. This was the last product launch video I ever do, maybe the last product video I ever do. Some of the people in the music production community seriously need help, and I don't mean that as an insult. I hope someone rids the planet of influencers and starts with you. So, I mean, I don't support what these people are saying, but like, I do think on YouTube, you get insane comments. Like, this can't be the first time he's gotten shit like this, in my opinion. Because, like I said, he made a video about Behringer, and like, there is no easier way to get insane comments than to make a video about Behringer, man. Like, I've had people harassing me for months. Like, I'm pretty sure it's Uli Behringer just on a sock account, but like, I keep getting this guy with a Zoolander profile picture that just keeps commenting negative shit on all my stuff. Like, it's just, well, this one is sort of like kind of saying like, hey, I hope you basically die or disappear. Like, it's pretty bad. I think it's pretty well known he's a shill for Polyend after the whole Tracker Mini drama. Glad you posted this. Funny how my post earlier got reported for calling him out. Ben Jordan really has to be on Polyend's payroll beyond shameless. This isn't even bad. He says he doesn't make a dime from this, so I guess people are calling him a shill. I mean, in my opinion, he did not really adequately talk about the fact that it cost about the same amount beforehand. It actually cost more before they came out with the Plus. Imagine if you bought the Polyend Play a week ago and then they came out with this upgrade. I'd be seething so hard right now, man. That's probably the guy that wrote this right here, if I had to guess. It's also possible the guy that wrote that is just somebody who just doesn't like Ben. What is the deal with the sweatshirt? You made an obvious point of taking it off. Kanye reference? But that seems out of character. What's the story? I was wearing a sweatshirt and I got warm, so I took it off. Well, what does this have to do with this, though? What the f***, dude? I mean, honestly, this person just seems like a schizo who would have commented this on any video you've made, regardless of whether or not it was a gear review video. YouTube comments have always been bad. I gotta agree with this guy here. Then we got another one here. As far as YouTube is concerned, the toxicity of burning creators out is very much a problem of neglect with sock puppet accounts from the same IP addresses. There's definitely some truth to that. I could definitely agree to that to some extent. So he posted this gigantic image here. Hold on. So I looked at this earlier and I was like, kind of like, bro, there's a lot of positive comments here, you know? Okay, so we're gonna go through and read these. Okay, Snowflake, perhaps the internet is not for you. Okay, so yeah, negative comment there. That's a negative comment. Positive comment, positive comment, positive comment, positive comment, positive. Another positive comment here. Positive comment here. Same guy responding to that. I did this for free gear. I didn't do this to get paid. Why do you constantly contradict yourself? These are mostly positive comments though. Oh, come on. Only if you weren't such a drama queen, a grown man. Okay, sort of. This is a critical comment here. It's not even a negative comment. This is just a critical comment there. Receiving $800 devices compensation. This is just criticism, man. He's accurate. Receiving an $800 device twice, by the way, is compensation. You are getting paid in product. That is something you have to disclose to people as well too. I feel like it's fine to get things for a review, to get not payment, but to get like hardware or software for a review. If people feel like that makes you biased, whatever. But I do think that is fine. Or at the very least get a loaner. So the only pattern that I saw here is that they're mostly positive comments, and then there's like 3 comments without pictures that are all negative. And that's just because people are making stock accounts and they don't want to like do it from the real account because they want to be able to say whatever they want to say without getting any sort of backlash. They are clearly all stock accounts, but people are allowed to make stock accounts. But this would have been a lot more effective if he'd like got rid of all the positive comments while posting this, in my opinion. It doesn't really hit the same way when I got to scroll through a million positive comments while doing it. He does have a point there. I just don't think it's illustrated in the best way. Okay, so he made a video talking about how he's done with gear videos. And like, this got a lot of attention here, man. 100K views here. So it's the talk of the town right now.
All right, so I told myself that I'm not going to spend more than 1 hour making this video, so I'm sorry if my makeup is all rushed. And if
makeup, dude, you're lying to us. Dude, this is lies. Oh man, never ends with this guy. I'm gonna speed it up because he says watch it 2x in the description.
The production quality is ass because there's not even 24 camera operators working this shoot. So let me tell you a little story. Back when I started this channel, I called it.
Oh, that's gotta be a long time ago, dude. It looks way different back then. He has beard back then. What the fuck?
Benn in gear. Some people back in 1960s might remember that. And it started as kind of a low motivation side project to make myself speak better because I was a professional musician at the time. That was kind of my only profession. And I moved down to Georgia to like this wooded area. And I just worked on music and composed for projects and never really spoke all that much to anybody. And one day, I think I told...
Yeah, guys, I have some news for you too. This whole thing, I've just been doing it to speak better. And it hasn't been working at all. It has not been working at all.
this story like 50 times because people are like, why did you start a YouTube channel? I remember getting my hair cut once, and I was asked a question about something in my life, and I couldn't really string a sentence together all that well.
Weaver, you need to quit drinking that Starbucks. It's going to kill you. You're right. You're right.
And I thought to myself, man, I need to like get a social life or something, because this is probably bad to not be able to string a sentence together when you need to answer a simple question. But instead, I thought that creating a fucking synth channel would be the solution to that. But I also knew that if I did a good job, I would eventually get some free gear, and that I would also meet some of the people who are making some of the tools that I'm making to do the most important thing in the world, which...
So you just described motive of getting free gear, which, I mean, I don't know if there's a problem with that, but I mean, it kind of syncs up with what people were saying earlier. Make of that whatever you will.
Is write music. To me, anyway. That's always been my number one thing. And both of those things came true. I got tons of free gear, and I made some really good friends and met some really...
I don't know, getting free gear in software is never been a motive for me. Like, sometimes I'll get sent free shit and I don't even use it or review it. A lot of times, actually, lately.
Brilliant people. One of the biggest examples of those friendly connections would be Polyend. And if you're one of the people who is upset about the Polyend Play Plus release scenario and you're expecting this to be an apology video, put it away and zip up.
He shouldn't do an apology video. Like, if anything, he should just... I don't know. There's nothing really wrong that he did. It doesn't seem like. I think he should have just mentioned the whole... I could see why people be upset about it costing $800, and then, them releasing a cheaper version and then selling an upgrade a year later. Like, I feel like he just had to mention that in the video. Like, if he did, I didn't see it.
Your pants. The reason that this isn't an apology video is because in this situation, I don't think that I have to apologize for anything. I wasn't paid anything to make the video. I did get a prototype that I disclosed in the video that I got for free. It's sitting right over there. I've never sold a prototype or any product that I've been given for free on this channel in my life.
So weird for Ben to get so defensive about actually addressing the controversy. I mean, I guess he did in the comments, but yeah, I mean, that kind of does make sense what you're saying there.
Literally never sold one of them. They're all here in a box. I think I gave a few away if it was like a smaller thing that I really just wanted to throw out and make space for. And by far more importantly, I was not dishonest about anything. I didn't try to sell you anything, and I can't think of a time where I've been dishonest in any launch video. I'm usually very vigilant of the influencery feeling that...
I mean, yeah, I don't think he's dishonest, but it did seem, at the very least, it seemed a little bit biased to not mention the issue with them lowering the price. I feel like they should have just not lowered the price. You know, no one would have anything to complain about then. At most, you could say, oh, that's expensive. You know, the new version is expensive.
You get when you're making those videos, which I'm going to get to in a moment. But
I think Ben's just been getting super fed up with this stuff lately. Yeah, I kind of wonder if it's more of like a, straw breaking the camel's back. Because like this seems like a straw to me. Not a straw man, but a straw. Do influencers who get free stuff, especially when they get it early and exclusively, really not think it's a big advantage to their channel and their ability to generate income? I don't know. Some do think that. I believe at least, but yeah, it definitely is an advantage. I remember early on, I got an advantage because I found out Ozone released Ozone 10. It was either 9 or 10. I found out they were releasing it because they changed their website a day or two early. They must have made a mistake or something. But basically, my friend told me that I was able to prepare a review for it before it came out. This is like probably when I had like 4,000 subscribers. Like that kind of stuff, having an in on that can be huge to growing your channel.
But in this particular circumstance, I do think that between the two options, where one is a product coming out, and then 18 months later, some new hardware comes out, and you could trade in that product and get the upgrade for half off, I believe that that is better than intentionally, for marketing purposes, holding off an upgrade for a few more years to get the full amount out of your customer. Marketing purposes, holding off an upgrade for a few more years to get the full amount out of your customer, when you're essentially getting the same functionality with both of those options. I stand by my opinion, which may be wrong, which brings me to the next thing. I do not think that me having a different opinion than somebody about a piece of gear means that I deserve to be wiped off the planet.
Yeah.
I don't think that it means that I should kill myself.
I can't wait until you realize how much of a shill you are to off yourself. God damn, that's a brutal comment there. That is brutal. Now that one there, that's one he should be posting on Twitter. Who would do that, dude? Who would be like, oh man, I'm such a shill. Well, time to blow my brains out. I can't live with myself. Like what? Like who would like even like have that viewpoint?
I don't think that it means that this channel deserves to be hacked.
Your account might be at risk. Wow.
I don't think that I deserve to be doxxed or contacted at my home address or through family members' addresses. And this is just a tiny sliver of the bullshit that's taken place in the last 7 months. And the majority...
Yeah, I'm going to assume the doxing stuff was probably not recently. That was probably from Behringer, if I had to guess. Not Behringer themselves, but like a Behringer video being critical of Behringer.
Of that bullshit, unfortunately, comes from...
Why did you change the title of the video, Pressure Getting Too Hot? Has lawyers advised him to do so? Has the content also been changed? Bro, like, do people not know that you can change the title of the video because, like, the video's just not doing that well?
The gear
Like that's like a really effective method of making your video do better, changing the title and thumbnail.
and synth spaces, or people who are part of those communities. I realize that those bad actors make up maybe 1 in 30 people in this community, and the other 29 people are genuinely nice, lovely musicians. But in the last couple months, people from those spaces have called loop hop Israeli scum. They've attacked other creators for their sexuality or gender, and I'm done. If you couldn't tell, I am really, really...
Bro, I don't know if he knows this though. This is not going to stop this. You quitting gear reviews is not going to stop this. Like, I'm sure you were getting just as much bad shit from the Behringer video. I'm sure you got a lot of shit from the Spotify video. Like, gear review is not the problem here. This is just what happens when you're controversial. When you have opinions that are going to either have people loving you or hating you, like, you're going to get a wide variety of reactions.
Passionate about everything, including making gear videos. And when I am making a gear video and I'm making music with something, I'm enjoying myself a whole lot. And
I do think people are pretty passionate about shills. Like, not that he is a shill, because we don't really know for sure, like, if he's like, you know, secretly working with Polyend to like, oh, give me some money and I'm gonna talk good about it. We don't know if he's doing any of that, but like what people perceive as shills.
I am not really caring about what the battery life is like, or what type of USB port it has on the back. Or
I do feel like there is a bias though when you are receiving something for free. Like, I feel like he probably would have been more likely to mention the issue with it costing $800 or $900 pre-upgrade, and then buying the upgrade, and then you could have just waited and bought the upgraded version for the same price. Like, I'm sure he would have made a bigger point to mention that if he didn't get it for free. Whether that makes him biased or not, I'm just saying when you actually have to pay for it, that issue is going to stand out a lot more in your mind.
Well, you know, what kind of plastic it's made out of. And as long as it's not getting in my way of making music, I am just happy as a pig and But caring about those things that I just mentioned, that is the job of a reviewer or unboxer or demoer or synth tuber. And then when I do play with something like the MPC keys or OP1, and something about the UI gets in the way of me actually making music, then I start caring about all those things and I start nitpicking the things that
I do think he is generally unbiased when it comes to workflow, design, you know, samples, synth, whatever. All that stuff I feel like is generally unbiased. But I feel like when it comes to price, like him and Loopop both did not mention that, which I find very interesting. And I don't think it's because they were taking money for it or something. I think it's because they got it for free that they didn't really think about it being an issue so much.
Don't like. And then when you do that, the chorus of people calling you a influencer shill is quiet, and then the chorus of people screaming at you because you've insulted their favorite piece of gear becomes the loudest thing in the world. And long story short, I'm just not cut out for the job. The last product launch video that I made before this one this morning was the Polyend Tracker Mini in April. And that had an equal amount of toxicity and drama surrounding it. And my way of dealing with that was being 100% transparent by releasing this video and then converting this channel to a nonprofit organization. So I would have no personal financial incentive for any of these product videos at all. And I didn't do this for you. I did this for me because I felt gross and I wasn't enjoying making it. In the process of making this last video, I kept wondering what it was that I was doing. For example, I took off my sweatshirt in part of the video because I got hot from the camera light. And I thought to myself, I wonder if anybody's going to like mention that and be like, oh, he's
Are the exclusive access more important than the price of one unit?
sweating because he's lying, you know, or some stupid shit like that. And sure enough, somebody fucking did. But even though...
Dude, wait. Wait, that's a sweatshirt comment. I don't understand the sweatshirt. What's the deal with the sweatshirt? You made an obvious point of taking it off. Kanye reference? The action of attempting to convert someone from one religion, belief, or opinion to another? What the f? That is an insane comment. Now, it seems pretty irrelevant to me to what is going on here, but that is a completely unhinged comment.
No, every single thing in that video, except for the specs, I guess, came from my brain and my mouth. But I still felt like I was going to be called a shill and that I was going to be expected to be selling something, I guess. And I kept thinking about how annoyed am I going to be by the comments? How many threats are there going to be? How many weird you're being paid to make this accusations are there going to be, even though I'm not being paid anything to make it? And if these insecurities or these insecure thoughts were happening when I was doing something that I needed to survive, then obviously the next action I would take was to deal with those insecurities and learn how to continue making content without them. But I don't need to make launch day gear videos. And I don't really need to show you all of the features.
He really doesn't. Like, he's kind of above it at this point. I feel like when you're getting 100,000 plus views, like, you don't need to be doing this type of content. Like, you're basically doing them a huge favor.
I'm certainly not being paid to do it from the company. And so I was only really doing it because I enjoyed it. And now I don't enjoy it anymore. I think that I was wrong in thinking that I could make content like that about music gear and not at least somewhat be an influencer, the most dreaded term ever, right? So I'm not going to cover gear anymore if I have a beta unit of that piece of gear, or even without pay, if I'm being contacted as part of a publicity or marketing strategy from that company, which pretty much every company has when it comes to sending YouTube creators' gear. When it comes to exploring new gear that I am organically interested in, I'm going to be limited to what I can personally afford or what a retailer is willing to give me a discount on. So maybe me making this video right now functions as something that I could link people to when they ask me my opinion on a new piece of gear. I could just be like, watch this, here's why I don't have an opinion yet. Or maybe the function of this video will be like when somebody quits drinking and they tell all their friends and family that they're 7 days sober or a month sober.
I'm 7 days done with gear videos.
Increases the accountability. It's kind of weird to think of it that way. There's still a few other things where I've been talking to some gear manufacturers where they just want to send it to me for my comments on it. And if I feature it on a stream, then I feature it on a stream. It would be a huge dick move for me to send those things back because of this little precedent that I decided to state just now. So this is going to take a few weeks to see itself through. So while all of this is happening on the exterior, on the interior of this nonprofit, myself and a few others have basically been full-time working on a massive research and documentary project that is still a few months in the making, but it is the largest project that I've made on this platform
I'm interested in that
so far. And I guess while I'm talking about that, do you hear a hum right now or a rumble? Does it sound like there's a truck
I mean, I hear a fucking song in the background, dude.
outside of your house?
I don't know if it's gonna be too obvious.
There's some sort of giant boat or something, and it's just rumbling, but you can't actually figure out where it's coming from. If you do hear this rumble, then you would
I have AC in my room right now, so I don't know. I can't really tell.
probably be happy to know that between 2 and 3% of the human population shares this phenomenon in common with you. And if you do hear this rumble or hum, I would very much appreciate if you could fill out a brief survey that I have put a link to in
Oh no, he's losing his mind, dude.
the description of
Yeah, it does sound like Brian Eno.
this video. And that would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't hear
But
shit.
anyway, yeah, I'm
I have too many
probably
other
a
things going on.
terrible gear reviewer, and I'm kind of okay with that at this point. I did realize it
I really don't think he's bad at it.
a long time ago, and I
I just think that he doesn't really think about the price as much as he should, or like what it's like for somebody buying it from the outside.
was just hoping that when I made any type of launch video that it was as inspiring and fun to watch as it was to make. But I'm not going to lie, the synth and gear community can be super f***ing toxic, and frankly, it's not fun to make them anymore. If a person exists out there that hears this news and goes, oh, first of all, I'm kind of surprised that somebody exists and feels that way, and thank you. And I also just want to tell you that's going to be fine because there are a lot of really creative and talented synthfluencers / YouTube creators / gear reviewers, and they're not at all yet burnt out from the toxicity, and there will be no shortage of demos and reviews and takes every single time a new piece of gear comes out. So yay for all of us. I like watching this stuff too. All right, anyway, thank you for why am I holding a paint marker while recording this? Thank you for watching and attending this little emotional board meeting. I will have some reverb pedal videos coming out in the near future. They're not sponsored. They're not based on any particular company, but they are.
Okay, I think we got the point here. Who the listens to music? Honestly, I barely do anymore, man. I barely do. Okay, so I think that's it there, guys. Well, we're not done with the stream, but that is it for the Ben Jordan drama. The toxic community, the toxic YouTube community. Honestly, I think it's more of a problem with YouTube in itself, and just like, it's kind of like, it's not the same as 4chan at all, but on 4chan, there's a lot of toxicity because you can be anonymous. It's kind of similar in that way. You can be pretty anonymous on here, so people are just going to make sock accounts and say whatever the f they want. And that's really just like there's no way to stop that, dude. Like, you just got to deal with it, just not care. That's the way to stop with it. It's a problem with people in general. That is true. It is a problem with people in general, but I think it's especially bad on platforms like YouTube because people can be anonymous. 4chan is a wild west of the internet. Dude, I used to browse B when I was in like 2012 when I was in college. That place is up, dude. I'll never be the same because of /B. I used to go there like looking for memes and shit like that, and mostly I would see fucking and like gore and shit like that. It was not great. It was not great.
Bang Incorporated.